Quarter 4 in the holiday season is coming real soon. It's a beautiful time. It's a time where consumers are just primed and ready to buy stuff. But inevitably also, it's a time where advertising costs go up. And the retailers who win are the ones that know that not all customers are created equal and that they know their customer value. So that way, you're not staring at the floor, the lowest cost that you can acquire all customers from and the CPA of that. But rather, you're looking at the ceiling, asking yourself, what is the threshold of my CPA where I can profitably spend my ad dollars and find the best customers for my business? So in light of that, I want to share our customer value calculator with you. So that hopefully I can find you some money, save you some money, and hopefully just make you more money overall. This is the exact same calculator that we use internally with my team so that we can do exactly those things for our clients. So this video might be a bit long, but I swear it's going to be a good one if you stick with me, all right? So here are the things that we're going to do in this video. First, I'm going to tell you what the calculator does, how it works. I'm then going to show you how to set it up because it does take a bit of setup. And then if you stick to the very end, I know the whole typical stick to the very end thing, but I want to leave it to the end because I want to show you what it works first. Let's talk a bit about, at the end, the RFM concept, how all customers are not created equal, and I'll show you some other cool shit that you can do with this calculator, this spreadsheet as well. Let me just preface this beforehand, and let me say that while this spreadsheet and this calculator has been created for e-commerce, you really can just tweak a few things and factor it for a subscription-based service, any type of recurring payment service, or even like SaaS, for example. All right, let's jump on in. All right, so jumping into the spreadsheet. Now, let me just break everything down for you and explain things to you, and then after that, we can talk about setting it up. Okay, let's start up the top and we'll zoom down. So your inputs are here. Anything with light blue is for you to manually input. I'll be able to talk about the customer lifespan assumption in a minute. The totals here, anything that is light yellow, you're gonna have to reference another cell, which I'll show you later as well. And then you've got your key metrics, which are all computed based on the calculations above. Gross margins, same kind of deal. We've even got gross margin ROAS. We've got net as well in here, and then net ROAS. So this is from real data that I pulled out from one of our clients from the full year last year. And as you can see, I've uploaded a sales database report that I exported from their Shopify. Full start date, end date of a full year. This is their gross margin that I've put in there, and the net margin is completely assumed. Now, I know a lot of people, while there is a strict way or there is a proper way to calculate your net profit margins, a lot of people calculate them really differently. So I've just put this in here as optional if you want. That's why it spits out the different cell down here. And then average customer lifespan assumption in years. Now, the reason why it's an assumption is because this is a really simple calculator. If you want to actually map out your customer lifespan, it really actually takes a much more complex method of being able to do it. And it's just really hard to be able to do so without going really, really deep and slicing and dicing your data in a lot of different ways. So I've put in an assumption here. You can just change this on the fly because it is a manual input and it is a multiple, obviously, of the total denomination here. All right. So total months, obviously, this is 12. Pulls from here. Days pulls from here. So based on this customer, in the last year, they had 3,740, so 3,740 customers based on email because I'm looking for unique emails. Total orders here, and that's their total revenue. This is what got spat out. So their average order value for the year was $95. Their purchase frequency was only 1.16. So in other words, and this is an apparel company, so they should have seasons, and they should have 4 seasons where there are 4 different product lines that are coming out. 1.16 really just isn't good enough. So the real customer value based on the calculation is 110 instead of just 95. So what this tells me then is really, while 1.5 is the break-even, absolute break-even ROAS on the front end, we might just be able to peel out a bit more and just be able to look at that CPA in a lot more friendly terms. But also, if you want to talk about finding money, this purchase frequency here, there are so many things that we can do to be able to increase that purchase frequency, and I believe actually increase that average order value as well. So just for example, for purchase frequency, better email marketing, better remarketing, win-back sequences, etc., and just ongoing campaigns, and treating their top best customers in much better ways, a loyalty program or a VIP program, something that brings them back time and time again to increase that purchase frequency across the board. Even with a small little lift here, we might be able to find them a whole bunch of money. All right? So this is how I use it. We typically just start looking at these numbers and go, where are the improvement areas? What can we do to start bringing in more money? Or what can we do to not have to focus directly on just like CPA? Let's look at lifetime value and let's look at CPA for the best customers, right? So let's talk about setting it up, and then we can get in some really cool shit at the end, like I said before, about how to find and identify the best customers, not the best looking customers. I don't care about how they look. Okay, so here we go. All this data is pulled from this sheet in here. So what this means is, and I've anonymized everything, so you'll see like a whole bunch of fighters' names because they were throwing red hooks. So what you want to do to pull this data out is log into your Shopify store, click on Analytics, and go into Reports down here. Let me just say this also, that if you're on basic Shopify, sorry, you just don't get these reports. You have to be on just a regular Shopify or above to be able to pull this out. So by the time you get into back here in Reports, there is sales here. You want to be clicking on sales by customer name. And when you're in here for sales by customer name, again, because we want to pull out a full year, I'll show you why you want to pull out a full year in a minute. But let's just go starting date of last year, January 1st, to the ending date of the last day of last year, 31st of December. Hit apply. Edit columns, go down, scroll all the way down to time, and you want to get to month of year. Got it. So notice how Shopify only spits out month of year as a worded month. Doesn't give you the date, doesn't give you the year in terms of numbers, does not give you the month in terms of numbers either. So that makes things really, really hard to then say, if you want to pull out something more recent like June of 2018 to June of 2017, you're going to have to do multiple exports. And also, if you want to pull out 6 months, not to say it's not doable, but you're going to have to do some tweaks to the template. Now, the smart cookies amongst you will know what to do with that. For everyone else, don't try to get too fancy. Just work with what you got for now. And then hopefully in the comments, everyone can start chatter and then start looking at the different ways and exchanging tips. Okay, so here we go. We've got all this in place. All you want to do now is click export, and that will give you a CSV file of all this data, which you then want to upload here. Now, the thing that you're going to see is very different. It won't have numbered months in here. It also won't be ordered in this type of way. What it will show you is just month of year and a whole bunch of emails. I use a paid tool called Power Tools, which is a plugin made by AbleBits. And I have no affiliation with AbleBits whatsoever, but hey guys, you're doing a good job. What this allows us to do then, first of all, is a few things, right? First of all, what I do is I create numbered months. So the way that I want to do that is just to be able to create a new column and then turn this into a formula where I am referencing the previous cell. I've got all the instructions in here, guys. So if you want a step-by-step, I've painstakingly written everything out. So you're going to be fine. And then, so it spits out a number, not just a word, because it's just hard to sort with a word. It'll just sort alphabetically, not by the month. All right, once you got the numbered months in here, I use Power Tools and this one function called Combine Rows. What this allows us to do, I'll just show you really quickly. What this allows you to do then is not only remove the duplicate emails or duplicate names, for example. I remove duplicate emails just because, again, I want to find unique emails. It allows you to remove that, but then also notice how there are the commas here. What it does is it merges these, and it also adds all the gross sales, net sales, total sales, and orders together, so you get one email with all the additional data that's a sum, right? That's what it does. Once you're done with this, then we start doing a whole bunch of other small little nitty-gritty steps. Again, in the instructions, they're going to be there, and it spits out your total emails. I just do total customers just because it's just to be safe. Although some people might be buying from several emails, it might be the one person, but again, I'm looking for unique emails. You got your total orders, which is sum, and all these totals here, which then I am referencing down here. So there you go. That's how you set it up. Now, I promised you again that there are going to be some cool things that we can do with this. Purchase frequency here, AOV here. These are the areas where really we can start looking at ways to improve, find money, save money, or just overall make more money. Purchase frequency of 1 is, to me, just not good enough. I mean, if this is an apparel company, which it is, there are going to be 4 seasons, there are going to be product lines that are going to be released 4 times a year. Why is it only 1? Not good enough. So if we can raise this average up, that's going to be really, really powerful in increasing the customer value. Now, let's talk about some cool stuff. So this is where you're going to find all the different instructions, and down at the very bottom here, I've actually included some cool stuff in here. So what you can do is start being able to segment this out a bit better. So once you get into this sheet here, what you can do is, let me just fix the freeze because it really only should freeze 1 row. So once you get into here, what you really can do is start discovering your most recent and also most high value customers. That's one thing you can do. So that's RFM, recency, frequency, and monetary value. I did not come up with this concept. Some very, very smart people came up with this concept. And it is ordered in that way because recency, frequency, and the monetary value, those are in order the priority of people that are highest value to you. And you can start making permutations of those. So here's what I mean. Like, one of the few things that you can do is select, for example, the entire database, go into data, go into sort range. Data has hit a row, and you can sort by the recency and also sort by the frequency to then find out in highest to lowest, and you can find out who are your most recent and most frequent buyers. You can do a lot with that data, I'm sure, not only on from an email side, not only from a segmentation side, but then also from a custom audience or a lookalike audience side of things too. And you can do the inverse too, right? So you can find people that have not bought for the longest time, have hardly bought anything, or you can do it by total sales, where they are the people that are your worst customers, or you might find people that are constantly canceling orders. There's also ways to be able to pull out canceled orders here as well. And based on that, then you can create those as audiences, as segmented email lists, etc. And I'm sure you know what to do with those too. So all in all, this is exactly how we use this template. There are a few other cool things that we do here with the team, but I don't want to inundate you with a whole bunch of stuff. It can be a real like deep hole where you might find a lot of cool data, but you might not know what to do with it. The main thing to think about is what to do with this data, not just look at some numbers and go, hey, okay, that's cool. So, and you can also, by the way, you can find some definitions in here as well as how things are calculated. I'm trying to make this as dead simple as possible. I'm not a smart guy. I need things really, really simple. So I'm assuming a whole bunch of other people are like that as well. I'm just catering to myself out there if one of you exists. There you have it. That is our simple customer value or customer lifetime value calculator. It's really simple because of this number here. I know that I did not cover this in its full totality because there are going to be a whole bunch of questions popping up. If you do have a question, please leave it in the comments below. I'm going to try my best to get back to you as much as possible. And if you need instructions, they are all part of the sheet. So what's going to happen now? I'm going to make sure that there's a link. Ideally, I think I'm going to make it in the comments of this video so that everyone can look at the comments, the first comment, hopefully, and get the sheet there. Just make sure that you make a copy for yourself. Don't use this one, please, because this one is for everyone to see. Make a copy for yourself. Do what you will with it. If you have any questions, you know how to reach out. All right, till the next video, this is D, out.